All right, what's good, y'all? Now, unfortunately for the Clippers, after that great win against the Utah Jazz, that great blowout win, smacked them. Kawhi Leonard's hurt now. Shoot, that dunk against Derek Favors, where Kawhi Leonard caught a body. Maybe if he didn't dunk it, he wouldn't be injured. But seriously, unfortunately, Kawhi Leonard's injured, and now the Clippers got to rely on Paul George, someone that can never play consistently. Bro, I'm sorry if you're a Clippers fan. I'm sorry, but it's looking like it's wraps. Because the way they're talking about Kawhi Leonard, they're saying he might not come back for the whole series. Now, do I think that's true? I think if they lose Game 5, Kawhi Leonard will come back in Game 6 and be like, I'm ready. And maybe they win that game, or the Utah Jazz will have momentum and beat them. So, anyways, Paul George, it's on you. But let's get into this video.
Five in a little bit, but we got to start with an eventful day of NBA news, and that means starting with the LA Clippers, who announced Kawhi Leonard is not only out of tonight's pivotal Game 5 against the Jazz with a right knee sprain, is what they're calling it right now, but he is out indefinitely. Now remember, he appeared to tweak his knee during the fourth quarter of Monday's win. He sat out the final few minutes. Ramona, you were the one reporting on this story for us as it broke. What can you tell us about this injury?
Well, this is a cause for concern, Rachel. I mean, I didn't think he was all that injured in the game because he came out, he was sitting on the bench. There was no trainer attending to him. He wasn't on the injury report in the morning.
And he talked about it after the game.
He said, I don't want to talk about it. Next question. So, with Kawhi, that could mean anything.
Say, I'm fine, next question?
Yeah, I'm fine, next question. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to talk about it. See, that's the thing I like about Kawhi. Kawhi is just gonna answer random questions just because you ask him to. Like, if I don't want to talk about it, next question, move on. The thing is, people make Kawhi out to be this weirdo, bro. I'm not with that. Just because he's introverted or that he's not transparent with everybody. I mean, you can't expect everyone to be transparent with you, but when it comes to Kawhi, like, man, he's weird, he's creepy, just because he doesn't want to talk and give his personal information to people he doesn't know. Stuff like that.
He said, I'm fine. Next question.
Yeah.
So that's what we heard after the game.
Yeah, he seemed okay. He answered a bunch of questions, seemed to be in an okay mood. Last night, I kind of got worried that.
But even that, they're like, he seemed okay. He seemed to be in an okay mood. I mean, I know you can't read him, but it's like you're not even trying to talk to him. It's more like you're talking at Kawhi Leonard. Like, jeez. You can't expect for you to talk at somebody and then to be transparent with you and respond. And even being transparent with people, you should never be transparent with anyone 100%. At least that's what I think.
The situation that they got bad news on whatever imaging they had done or test they had done during the day. The fear, Rachel, is that this involves the ACL, which is a ligament in your knee. They're calling it a sprain for right now, but they need to do some more imaging to determine how severe this is, because when you have an injury in a game, Matt, and you know this, it swells up the next day. And it's hard to determine exactly.
Y'all know if Kawhi has the ACL sprain. I think the doctor's a captain. You know when someone has an ACL versus a knee sprain, bro.
Which ligaments are involved here, how serious this is. So right now they're calling this a right knee sprain, but they need to do some more tests to see how severe this is.
I saw that dunk live. Black Curls, Hunter, if you're watching this video, you can attest to this. I was going crazy when I saw that dunk live.
I think right now the Clippers are prepared to be without him tonight and most likely for the rest of this series.
And look,
let's see how severe it is.
Sprain, and especially an ACL, you want to err on the side of caution. So he could, and you hate to say it, could be done for the playoffs.
Right. And look, we saw, again, I think with the Kevin Durant experience in the NBA Finals a couple years ago looms over every decision that every NBA team is making now, right? If there is something that looks this could be bad, involving an area of your body where, oh my gosh, we could have long-term effects that could knock you out, not just for the rest of the playoffs, but maybe for a year or two. You know, that timeline gets longer and longer.
Yes.
That is some of the concern, was saying, nah, just go out there and play. It's such an important.
Bro, she looks so old. No disrespect, but she looks so much older, bro. Man, she is super fast.
Time of year. Matt, we know now on the other side, by the way, that the Jazz's Mike Conley is also out tonight. His hamstring, of course, has been keeping him out for a while now.
Right.
I don't know if the Jazz saw that. He was questionable originally. I don't know if the Jazz saw the Clippers injury report and were like, maybe we don't need to rush Mike Conley back. That's just me speculating. But Matt, what do you think that the Clippers need to do there, at least tonight, going out without Kawhi Leonard?
They need to rally around.
All right, before Matt Barnes talks, his nickname, as you all know, is Becky with the good hair. So let's hear Becky talk.
On their team right now. You know, Paul George is 1A now, and he's been playing well of late. You just hate to see this because Kawhi has these guys playing so well. Although they went in a 2-0, down 0-2, they've come back in convincing fashion the last two games and really have everyone thinking that they're on their way to the Western Conference Finals. So this is a huge blow to the team. But one good thing for Coach Lue is he has a very deep team. Obviously, you can't replace a guy like Kawhi with one or two players, but by committee, hopefully they can get some of his numbers and the defensive presence he normally brings every night.
And PG,
Hopefully, but unfortunately with PG, you can't rely on him. You can't ever rely on somebody that's shaky. Whether they're shaky in their beliefs or, shoot, in this case, shaky in basketball and his confidence. Paul George out here looking at social media, going back and forth to Damian Lillard, Seth Curry. It's stuff like that. Because Paul George is the type of dude go on social media and say, what are people saying about me? They're calling me Pandemic P? Oh my gosh. And then start playing worse the next game. And that's no shot at him. It's just the fact that he's not solid in who he is. If he was solid, what people say wouldn't get to him.
average 26 when Kawhi's out, 5 more shots a game. Terrence Mann, this is your time. Moore Sr., this is your time. But I'm looking at hotels in Salt Lake City for the West Finals right now. Park City or down. Kawhi is the reason why they're here.
Yes.
He is their Superman, and he's been so much more aggressive this series and in the end of last series.
Actually, Kawhi is their vision, the superhero. He's their vision, the robot.
Like, I think Paul has it in him, but we need to see some special performance from him like we saw.
Yeah, he can't give it out. He can't even get it out. He's like, Paul. Yeah, he don't got faith in Paul George. And hey, this is Paul George's chance to prove them wrong once again. Paul George comes out, drops 40, and wins. Yeah, he'll silence everybody.
From Kevin Durant last night for the Clippers to survive, and that still might not be enough.
Right. And I mean, by the way, we need to see like what we saw from Kevin Durant last night. That's a nice sentence.
That's a lot, right?
I'm sorry, I don't think Paul George is gonna play at that level. That level KD played at last night. Yo, this man had 49, 17, and 10 off what, like 63% shooting. Now that was crazy.
No pressure.
That was an extremely historic performance, a tall order, and by the way, from a guy who is considered possibly the best in the game right now. I'm not sure that Paul George.
Yeah, KD is the best player in the world right now. Kawhi's hurt. LeBron's out in the playoffs, first round. It's KD. I'm confident in saying that. He just gotta knock out the Bucks next round, or not next round, next game rather.
George, a lot of that should be put on his plate as well. We will see.
No. Don't put that on Paul George's plate. Every time you bring up the expectations for Paul George, cracks. Every time. Anyways, that's about it on this one. Make sure you go check out my podcast, link in the description. And then check out my Instagram. Just follow me on there. I'll post like video updates, stuff like that. Anyways, that's it on this one. Peace.